We're seeing partnerships between existing rivals. So we've seen Fiat partner with Tesla to buy credits to keep its emissions levels in Europe down. We're seeing Volkswagen partnering with Ford for the electric drivetrains on the autonomy programs that they're coming up with. We're seeing several of the German manufacturers like BMW and Mercedes, who were rivals in the past, now partnering as well on autonomy programs and electrification programs. So these kinds of partnerships are necessary because there are big investments required to shift the manufacturing from its current base of internal combustion engines to electrification.
Yeah, going forward for EV adoption to really take hold in the commercial sector, you're going to need to see an increased dedication on the supply side, an increased number of major partners that are developing the right components on the powertrain side, on the battery side. But interestingly enough, you're also going to need to see a significant investment from partners on the energy side.
Partnership is very important since the beginning of CBMM Niobium and until today, and it's going to be in the future. What we see is engaging more partners to discuss broader topics and challenges, and also specific topics and challenges.
Of course, probably the most important part of reshaping an industry is the partnership and collaboration between different companies with different expertise, trying to put together and try to build a supply chain for these new vehicles, for this new mobility. And yeah, I think Formula E represents a very, very interesting frame for all these partnerships to work and to understand which technology they are developing, how can they interact with each other. Racing in general does that, but Formula E is very specific to electric. And yeah, of course, for then autonomous, we're doing the same with RoboRace, trying to build up a good framework that different companies can talk to each other and understand what they're developing and have this network in the autonomous industry.
A project like this one, like creating a championship, like the ABB Formula Championship, could not exist without partnerships. We work and we succeed thanks to the very strong partnerships we create with our sponsors and partners, with the OEMs, with the teams, with broadcasters all around the world that take this everywhere. And this is a full ecosystem of cross relations and partnerships that makes everything work.
Well, our technical partnerships are very, very important. As a small manufacturer team, we're not doing the whole car in-house and the whole powertrain in-house. So we work with a number of technical partners, and creating those partnerships, creating the bond between the people who are producing the best MGUs, the best inverters, best power electronics. It's very important to forge those relationships, continue to work with them for a degree of consistency from one season to another.
Well, I think partnerships are extremely important, and partnerships operate both within the classical industry, as for example Ford and VW coming together recently on electric vehicles and autonomous vehicles in order to share the burden associated with that. But also partnerships are a key part of working together as a cross-functional network.
I do think collaboration is key right now. It feels like the industry is just the beginning of these partnerships and the collaboration. And part of the collaboration is to actually create technology to help validate the solutions or the use case or the business models. Business models will come out of some of the technology innovation. And so partnerships are key.
Well, many interesting partnerships are emerging at this moment. One good example is the relationship that we are building between CBMM and very important players from our ecosystem, such as accelerators, startups, and even product development players.
Partnering with someone like Formula E allows us to see what the latest technology is doing. Usually in high-profile sports like this, the best and the brightest technology comes to shine.
So the type partnerships that Enel focuses on, NLX specifically, because we're very much building an ecosystem for charging and how it is that we help our drivers, our fleet operators, our companies, our car companies that we work with, it's critical for us to partner because we're evolving new technology every day. We're also developing new business models every day. So we work very closely with, for instance, the power companies, utilities, as to how we can help them manage the delivery, the transition of delivering a lot of energy into electric vehicles.
The complexity of the problems that we are trying to fix, and also the multidisciplinary approach on the technology side, definitely calls for a strong partnership where everyone can contribute with a technology background and get the solution right.
So when it comes to partnerships, we're collaborating across the chain. I mean, the world's changing so fast, and we want to keep our clients really at the forefront of that. We work with experts in the industry of batteries, electrification, and in fact, in this case, like with CBMM, we work on material strategies, how to really leverage the best for our customers.
We're also looking at partnerships in areas like biofuel and others to say, how do we make sure we've got the most sustainable network across the planet? And we can't do that on our own. Those brains and that capability aren't all within our organization.
Well, an exciting kind of partnership has to do with university and IP kind of technology acquisition. So in a classic sense, many companies would acquire another company's brick and mortar or assets, physical assets. But today, really what we're looking at, the most exciting part, is helping companies in this energy and e-mobility space acquire intellectual property. And that can be done by acquiring whole companies or laboratories, or simply by contracting for know-how.
We have standard suppliers, standard customers. But we have also the new entrants in the automotive industry, and new entrants as a supplier. And I think here not everyone will survive. And if you don't make a collaboration with the new entrants, with the know-how in the automotive industry, with a tier one supplier, with a know-how in the automotive industry, I think a few will survive if you are able and you're thinking forward, that the collaboration makes more sense as to everything alone.
So I look to companies to partner with. These usually are companies with a lot of potential, like mass companies, mobility as a service, or post and parcel companies. So together with them, we develop. We have them test the products of ours, and we get their feedback and so on. And on the other way, we also partner with our suppliers. As I said, the technique and the innovation is very important for us. So we feed our suppliers with our feedback.
The ecosystem within motorsport, I think right now is getting to a much higher level than it ever has before. And also in Formula E, it's attracting in new ecosystems as well, new companies that maybe haven't been able to get involved because they were sitting in a different type of technology, or alternatively, companies that want to be associated with this fresh new image and this fresh new way of going racing.
So we believe through partnership, involving the chain, involving our partners and future partners, that can be a good solution for developing new technology and solving the problem. Another point from our business is a global business, so we need to have the global partners.